confident in the features you have. Be confident in them and run your life according to your standard, not according to the standards of social media. So that's a sign of low self-esteem. If any decision I want to make, if I'm doing a makeup, I was like, oh, this person I watch on social media, they draw their brows like this. You want to draw your brows exactly like that person. That's a sign of low self-esteem. That's a cause of low self-esteem. So quickly, what are the, I need to run, so I give poor opportunity. What are some of the consequences of low self-esteem? What are some of the consequences? I'm really going to give these consequences based on some of the struggles as women we face in relationships with boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés, even marriages. So what are some of the consequences quickly? One of the consequences is that they find it hard to differentiate between love and friendship. People with low self-esteem find it hard. They don't know what is love. They don't know what is friendship. Why? Because they feel like they are not used to people showing them love. That's the first thing, right? They are not used to people show them. They have always grown up to know that everything they have is either they work for it, as I said, or it's either chance, it's either luck, or it's either God just came down from heaven and gave it to them. They don't know that you can achieve something without working for it like that, or somebody can just show you love. So, for example, a guy comes to you and the guy is just being nice. You went to Walmart and the person just helped you to, picked up your bag and gave it to you, or grab your bag. You wanted to do something in your boot. The person helped you to open your boot. Immediately that person did that act of kindness. The person had nothing in their mind. That guy had nothing in his mind like, I'm interested in you. The person was just showing you an act of kindness. You misinterpreted that act of kindness because you are not being used to people showing you love. So you misinterpret the act of kindness as an emotional attraction. So you overreact towards it. You misinterpret it. You take it to be an unrealistic good feeling. So most often in such situation, you think that it's not kindness, it's love. And most often in situations like that, the people tend to, when they discover that you are overreacting, simply because of a good gesture they showed you, they just bought you food, they just bought you lunch, maybe nothing more than lunch, but you feel that lunch now is that they love you, they're going crazy for you. When they discover that, you start acting now with them, you come with all that force, you come in with all that exhibition of your love, your sacrifice, your feelings, your everything into it. They'll be like, they'll withdraw from you. Oh no, that's not the way I came in. I was just showing you some act of kindness. But because you are not used to kindness, because you feel like nobody has ever shown you love, nobody has ever shown you goodness or kindness, you just feel like that is love. So people with low self-esteem tend to misinterpret love and kindness. They don't know how to draw the line. They don't know how to differentiate between somebody just being kind to them and somebody who is really interested in them emotionally. Another consequences of low self-esteem is that it brings stagnation. You tend to be in the same place. You tend not to grow because of the inability to express yourself to people. You think like you have nothing to offer. You are not gifted. You understand? You are not gifted enough. You have nothing to offer. You don't have good abilities. You think like you are not responsible for that thing that God has given to you. You are not responsible for the outcome. You are not responsible for the gift. You are not responsible for your advancement in life. You think to be stagnant in life. I'll just give an example with relationship. As I said, I tend to use relationships. Now, you always feel like this guy I'm dating, I don't deserve this guy. The guy is too handsome for me. He's too cute for me. Why? You already have a mentality that you are not handsome. I mean, you are not beautiful. You already have a mentality that you are not good. And so you tend to stay in the same position. You tend not to experience growth when you have low self-esteem in your organization because of the inability to express yourself. People tend to think you're not gifted enough. And so when it's time for people to give in their opinions, their points, you will sit quiet because you feel like you don't have anything to offer. I feel like this guy is too good for me. This guy is too nice for me. So when you're in the relationship with that person, he does something to you that is not right. You will not tell him, oh, I don't like this, or I'm not happy with this. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. You are afraid, thinking that if I use this word, if I use this statement, it's going to be the end of that relationship. So you find it difficult to express yourself. And then another consequences of low self-esteem is that you are always suppressed in the relationship. You have little, it's almost the same thing. You have little or nothing to say. You are always suppressed. Example of this guy is too good for me. You are suppressed. You cannot tell the guy what you think. You don't want this relationship to end. You don't want to lose him because I'm not sure that I'm going to have another one. So I have little or nothing to say. The guy always take an upper hand in the relationship, and you always take a lower hand. You are always demoralized. You're always at the side. He can shout on you. He can say all what he wants to say. You will never utter a word. And even if you want to utter a word, you utter a word in timidity, in fear. You are scared. You are conscious of what you say. That is a consequence of low self-esteem. You don't play the game. You are never at the top of your game. You are always at the bottom of your game. You are always down there. You are always shun out. You are always put at the sides. That is the consequence of low self-esteem. And low self-esteem could also lead to depression. You see a lot of young women nowadays go into depression. They think, they overthink, they stress themselves until their anxiety levels get so high and they fall into depression. So quickly, I'm going to talk about one of the major things after talking about the causes, the signs, and the consequences. We're going to look at some of the ways we can use to build our self-esteem, to build our confidence, to move from low self-esteem to a healthy self-esteem. So what are some of the things we need to do? What are some of the ways to build our self-confidence? The first thing is self-acceptance. Accept yourself for who you are. Accept your shape, sisters. Accept your nose. Accept your lips. Accept your eyes. Accept your ears. Accept your features. Accept everything that God has given unto you. You didn't really have the opportunity to make that choice. If you had, probably you would have not had a bigger butt. If you had, probably you would have wanted your eyes to be smaller than the way it is. But then, because you really do not have anything to do about it, the first way to build your confidence is to accept who you are. Accept all what God has given you. Accept where you are. Accept your features. One of the things with low self-esteem, as we said earlier, is the inability to accept who you are. And so you are trying every means to change who you are. And you really cannot do anything about it. That's the saddest thing about it. You just tend to worry over something that is almost inevitable to change. It's almost inevitable. You cannot really, I mean, they say there's growth hormones are doubt, but there's really nothing or very little you can do to increase your size. If you're already 28, I don't think you get taller than the way you are. So just accept it that this height is what is necessary to fulfill my assignment on earth. If I would have been too tall, or if I would have been taller than this, I would not be able to do what I'm doing. So I just need this height to do what I'm doing. Likewise, if I'm too tall, this height is just the perfect height to exhibit or execute my assignment here on earth. God knew this. That is why God gave me this height. So accept who you are. Even if you're not comfortable with your lips, oh, this is the lips that is needed in this generation to be so attractive and to preach the word of God. When people look at these lips, they just want to know Christ better. So accept yourself. Self-acceptance is one of the ways to build your confidence. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of the features you have. Turn around what you have. So people will even be excited to have it. Before, you know, they usually think people with flat butts are existing. Now, some generation of women they got up and they said, no, if you have flat butts, you are at the site. So you too, flat butt, can say, no, we don't need big butts. It is flat butts that make a difference. So just accept what God has given to you. Self-acceptance is one of the ways to build confidence. The next thing is, don't give thoughts powers. Don't give your thoughts. Don't give your mind, your thinking power. Whatever thing you feed grows. Whatever thing you feed grows. Whatever thing you think about every day, you give it life. You give it life. So starve negative thoughts and feed positive thoughts. We started by saying self-acceptance. So if you have accepted who you are, you need to stop thinking negatively towards yourself. And you need to replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. I said it last week for our word of the week. I said you cannot allow vacancy in your mind, because even the enemy is walking about looking. When there's any vacancy, it fills in something. So don't allow vacancy. If you're that person that you're always hard on yourself, you always think negative about yourself, you feel like nothing good, you have nothing good about yourself to write home about, refill those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Oh, I'm a wonder to my generation. I am beautiful and wonderful made. wonderfully made. I'll give myself as an example. I'm so very, very confident. I know I have a positive, self-esteem. There was one day we came back from church and I was just standing in front of the mirror, staring, looking at the mirror, straight into the mirror. And my husband walked into the room and immediately he said, I know what you're thinking. And I was like, what are you thinking? He said, I know you are just thinking that, wow, Marian is so beautiful. Wow, Marian is made specially. And exactly that is it. I do that all the time. So he already knows who I am, because even before he met me, I will never allow somebody to define me. According to me, I'm just the most beautiful. And that's the truth. And that is the truth. I'm just the most beautiful. It's not a sign of pride. It's a sign of confidence. You need to build your confidence level. Appreciate yourself. And that is it. Most often, if I do my makeup, sometimes before I go to church, I'm like, wow, God, you really take time to create me. According to me, I felt like that day if everybody was 1 hour, he took 6 hours for me, because he really created me. So he created me with a lot of concentration. There was no noise. He did not need anything by the time it was created. That's the confidence you have in yourself. So don't give negative thoughts power in your mind. When that thought comes like, I'm not good enough, reject it and say, I am good enough. I am powerful. I have something to offer. I am valuable. My point might not be the biggest. I might not have 25%, but my 5% is valuable. So feed your thoughts, feed your mind, feed your thoughts with positive mindsets, and reduce all negative, or take away every negative thought you have towards yourself. So feed your thoughts. Don't give negative thoughts power. That's a way to build your self-confidence. That's a way to build your self-confidence. Another thing is engage in doing what you like. Simply engage in the things you like. Before, one of the ways, if I'm not happy or somebody gets into my lane and does something to me, I usually like singing. It helps me. So identify what makes you happy. Identify what is that thing you could easily engage in that will take you out of that mindset, that negative thinking, because we said thoughts have power. So find out what you like doing and try to engage in those things in your free time, in times when the enemy wants to play over your emotions, over your intelligence, over your mind. Engage in the things you like. It helps to build your confidence. You suddenly discover that you just live from a depressed or anxiety state. You suddenly regain yourself. So doing what you like, engage. If you like dancing, dance. If you like singing, sing. If you like drawing, draw. If you like to paint, paint. Just identify what you like doing and spend time doing it. It helps to build your confidence. Another way to build your confidence is to walk away from negative people. Walk away from people who bring you down, people who devalue you. Walk away from toxic relationships. Walk away from people who don't see anything good in you. Walk away from people who want to always tell you the bad about you. And according to them, there is nothing you can offer that is good. Walk away from people who demoralize you. Walk away from people who depress you. Walk away from people who put you down. In short, people who devalue you. Walk away from those people. Make up your mind, in this year, I need to top up my game. I need to build my self-confidence. And so if anybody in your life doesn't see something good in you, doesn't appreciate you, doesn't applaud you, doesn't push you forward, doesn't make you to advance in life, walk away from them. I understand that there are some people we cannot walk away from them. If you have those type of people, let's say like your spouse, or I really don't even know why you get married to somebody that does not value you. If you have already made that mistake, you cannot walk away from them. Or your siblings, your parents, those people you cannot really cut off from them. You need to avoid them as much as possible, and always tell them what you think. Don't allow people to bring you down. Don't allow people to tell you what you are not. That's why we talked about identity last week. It is difficult when you don't know your identity. People don't know the line not to cross. People don't know how much they can, invade into your life and into your privacy. So it's always good to know your worth. Know your worth and know your limits in life. Know that this person is not supposed to. You have gone too far. I'm sorry, I'll cut you off. If you need to block them off, block them off. If there are some people's status, every time you watch, you feel like you are not good enough, block those people from. You don't need to. WhatsApp has an opportunity when you choose not to watch people's status. There are some people, every time you watch their status, You feel like they might not be doing it to hurt you. They are just maybe expressing their self-confidence. But every time you watch their status, you feel so down. You feel so depressed. Cut it off. So identify toxic relationships. There's some relationships, ladies, we are in there. You know that this person does not believe in your dreams, does not think the way you think. It's not going in the same direction, but you are just there because you feel like you are not too beautiful. You need to rise up. You need to rise up. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are valuable. Just what you have is something another that my mom's brothers, all of them got married to big women. So who you are is another person's choice. Stop looking at those who are not looking at you. Look at those who are looking in the same direction like you. Applaud yourself. So cut off from toxic relationship, cut off from people who devalue you, and engage in positive relationship. So it's not enough to cut off in toxic relationship. Engage in positive relationship. Engage with people who are going in the same direction you are going. Engage with people who appreciate you for who you are. Engage with people who tell you you are beautiful. Engage with people who advance you, push you, who will help you to move forward. Engage in those type of people. Another thing, if you want to build your self-confidence, is to practice to say no sometimes. It's necessary, sisters. Learn to say no sometimes. You don't need to always say yes. People with low self-esteem always say yes. Everything, even if it's killing them. The guy will say, I need to do this. I need $800. You don't have. You now take overtime of 80 hours overtime. You cannot even sleep. You have acne or you experience depression and all the rest just because you want to please that guy. It's not good. If you need to build your self-confidence, you must learn to say no sometimes. You must learn to set a boundary. There must be a limit. Some people cannot, there must be a limit. People should not be able to cross a particular place in your life. And always let them know. When people cross your boundary, let them know. If you're in a relationship, when somebody always puts you down, devalue, tell them, I will appreciate that next time you don't use this word to me. Always let them know. Learn to say no. Learn to say, next time I will not condone, I will not accept you doing this. You are not permitted to do that. You cannot really control what people will say or do, but you can control how much they invade into your life. You cannot control the extent to which that thing will affect you. Let them know what you think. Say no sometimes, so you are not overburdened. You are not overstressed. Learn to say no is another way of building self-confidence. Another way of building self-confidence is to give a challenge and give yourself a challenge and take a step on that thing you are afraid of. Give yourself a challenge and take a step on that thing you are afraid of. Give yourself a challenge and take a step. So we talk about low self-esteem as being one of the things that, you are afraid to get into new ventures. You're afraid to walk into that relationship. You just feel like you probably be hurt. You just feel like nobody will really like you. Nobody can ever truly love you. I want to let you know that after today, take up the step and walk into that relationship. I'm not just saying just walk into any relationship. So anybody that comes with pants on, you just accept. No, I'm just trying to say you need to kill fear by facing fear. Remember, I said everybody in life experiences fear in one way or the other. What's fear? Fear is just the notion, the thought of something good not going to happen. You anticipate that something right will not happen. So be it somebody who has healthy self-esteem or be it somebody who has low self-esteem, at one point in life will experience fear. But a person with healthy self-esteem feels the fear, but goes above their feelings. They don't work with their feelings. They are afraid, but yet they keep going. But a person with low self-esteem allow their feelings to take over their actions. And so they act on the way they feel. If you need to build your self-esteem, you need to give less attention to your feeling and face your fears. Face your fears. Get into that relationship and get into that relationship by building your confidence. You must have that confidence in yourself, in your values, in your ability, in the things you can do, in your what. So get into that relationship, get into that business, get into that assignment. Be bold at your place of work. Be bold in a place where you have a seminar, in a party, wherever you need to make your opinion felt or your points felt. Always have that mindset of giving out your very best. So take a challenge, face your fears, and move forward. Another thing about building your confidence is appreciate yourself. Learn to applaud yourself at every given win you have in life. Applaud yourself. I gave an example about this when I was talking. I don't know if it's identifying your purpose or identifying knowing your identity. I said, TTW, we just got to Facebook. We have 10 people following our page. I clapped. I was grateful, not only to God, to our effort, to our commitment, to our level of excellence we put in, and with the help of God. So every step you take in life, people love self-esteem, tend not to appreciate their wins, as we said. And I told us that we need to learn to appreciate ourselves. We need to learn to appreciate ourselves. We need to say, oh, I got it. If you are trying to lose weight, you have an intention to lose, let's say 10 pounds every 2 weeks, 10 pounds every 3 weeks, and you only succeeded in losing 2 pounds. Applaud yourself. Oh, Marian, you did it. You might not get to 10 pounds, but so far you have done well. Learn to say good things about yourself. Learn to write love letters about yourself. If you are not good at expressing, write it down. Take a pen and paper. Write all the good things you like about yourself. Write about your shape. Write about your legs. Write about your eyes. Write about your achievement. Write about how far you have gone. You have been in this country for 5 years. Look about the things you might have not built the house, but look about. Go to all the good things you have done. Say, wow, I did it. I might have not built the house, but I've done this. And for this I'm done. I'm grateful to God. Appreciate your wins. Appreciate the first step you take. A baby growing up, you take the first step, they will fall. They'll rise up again. That's the way you need to treat life. If you need to grow in confidence, appreciate. If you're always waiting for people to appreciate you, or if you are always waiting for affirmation to come out from people, you'll probably wait for too long. You probably wait for too long, and you probably wait forever. So why wait for people to appreciate you when you have the mouth to appreciate yourself? Clap when you have done something. You are given an assignment to do, or you have an anticipation to do something. You have not finished it. Be appreciative. I thank God for TTW today. Thank God. God help me. Thank God for my confidence level. Thank God for the word. I know it might not bless everybody. That's the way I'm able to build my confidence in this assignment I do. I know TTW does not bless every woman out there, but for that one woman that was blessed, thank God. I am grateful. My sleepless night did not go in vain. At least one person was blessed. If today 2 people are blessed, thank God. I'm grateful. The time I invested did not go in vain. 2 people applaud. I'm not waiting to have 25,000 subscribers before I applaud myself. No. And I'm not waiting for you either to applaud me to say more grace to the work you do. I know that grace has sustained me. And I know that the effort I put in, the time I put in, the energy I put in, the emotions I put in, everything I put in is blessing a woman, is blessing 2 women. And that's my confidence. And that's what keeps me going. So when you appreciate yourself, your beauty, your features, the things that God has given you for where you are, you keep advancing. But when you don't see anything good, you cannot move forward. So learn to applaud and appreciate yourself. And the last thing for today, as I give us, the last thing for today is practice good postures. I talk about postures. Try to look at people. Practice good eye contact when communicating with people. When you're talking with somebody, fear shows that when you talk with somebody and you always roll your eyes, it shows you are afraid. Even when you go for interviews, it shows your confidence level is very low. If you cannot face your panel members, face those who are interviewing you and talk to them straight into their eyes, looking into people's eyes is a sign of confidence. Adjust yourself when you're in the midst of people. Be conscious of your postures. Stop rolling your hairs, your eyes, or touching your phone all the time. Be conscious of all of that.